Welcome back everyone, my name is Clyde, and today I'm going to talk to you about why taxing the rich won't fix wealth inequality. This is a part 1 of a 2-part series. So, when people say taxing the rich is the solution to wealth inequality, that's just wrong. The rich don't often earn income, they own assets. Most wealthy people don't rely on salaries like the rest of us. Instead, they build wealth by owning appreciating assets like stocks, real estate, businesses, and private equities. They don't generate traditional income, but they grow it over time. So rather than cashing out the assets, the rich simply borrows against their assets. This gives them access to millions in liquidity while avoiding capital gains tax. An example, a billionaire might own $500 million in stock. Instead of selling it and paying taxes, they borrow $10 million at low interest using the stock as collateral. They live off that borrowed money tax-free, and the only thing they owe is a small interest payment each year. That is how they live like a king without earning a single penny. Number 2, they have teams to avoid taxes. The ultra-wealthy don't just have accountants, they have a full team of financial strategists, lawyers, and advisors. These experts help them structure their wealth in ways that minimizes or even eliminates taxes. They use legal tools like offshore trusts, family offices, charitable foundations, and donation loopholes to shield wealth from taxes. And when tax policies change, they adopt. They shift assets overseas or restructure under new rules. Raising taxes won't touch them if they can just move capital or change strategies. It's like chasing a shadow. They're always one step ahead. 3. Tax funds are flawed systems. Here's the hard truth. High taxes don't necessarily make society better. When people say, tax the rich, they often forget what that really means. Giving more money to the same governments and central banks that print trillions, inflate asset prices, and widen inequality. If those institutions mismanage money now, why trust them with even more? Taxes fund governments that often overspend, misallocate resources, and rack up national debt. Politicians bail out giant corporations, feed broken programs, and print money to stay afloat, all while the cost of living rises. So, when you raise taxes to fix the system, you're not solving the root issues like inflation, economic inequality, or financial corruption. You're just patching symptoms. 4. It can backfire on the poor and middle class. When governments try to tax the rich, it often doesn't hurt the rich, it hurts you. Big companies respond by cutting jobs, raising prices, or moving operations abroad. That means fewer employment opportunities, low wages, and higher cost of living. The rich don't pay more, they pass the cost down the chain, and ironically, it's the middle class and working poor who ends up footing the bill. 5. Wealth inequality is a money system problem. It's not about how much the rich make, it's about how the system is built. Central banks print money, and that new money flows into assets, inflating the value of stocks, real estate, and commodities. Who owns the assets? The rich. Who holds cash? The poor and middle class, and that cash loses value year after year. It's not why the rich keeps getting richer and everyone else feels like falling behind. It's not a level playing field. The system is designed to reward asset holders, not workers. So with all this, what's a better path? You don't fix this with more taxes, you fix it by fixing the money. We need a system that doesn't reward debt, inflation, or political manipulation. One that empowers people to actually save and build wealth. That's where Bitcoin comes in. It offers equal access to sound money, a system where no one can print more and no one has unfair advantage. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. So why do people feel inclined to have the rich pay more taxes? It feels fair. Most people work hard, pay their taxes, and struggle to get ahead. So when they hear that billionaires pay less taxes than they do, it doesn't feel right with them. So it's not about economics, it's about frustration and a sense of justice. It feels unfair, so the gut reaction, make them pay more. 2. They just don't understand the system. The average person doesn't know how money printing works, or how asset inflation benefits the rich, or how borrowing against assets help them legally to avoid taxes. So they assume raising taxes is the main lever available to fix inequality. They don't see how the system is tilted, they just see the outcomes. 3. Media and politicians promote the idea. Tax the rich is an easy slogan to rally behind, and politicians knows it. The media constantly shows billionaires' wealth, but leaves out how it's actually structured. They stir fear and outrage, and when people are scared, they're easier to manipulate. It's no different from how scammers work. They create urgencies so you can act without thinking. It's easy to rally people around taxing the rich, but it's harder to explain monetary policy or financial engineering. Why do you think they don't teach us how money works in school? It's because they want you to feel powerless. The system feels rigged, people feel stuck, so taxing the rich becomes a symbolic way to fight back, even if it won't fix the root issues. It gives people the feeling of action. At least we're doing something, but it's more emotional than practical. 5. They haven't seen better solutions. Most people haven't been introduced to sound money, Bitcoin. They never learned how inflation quietly extracts wealth, or how deflationary savings can protect your time and energy. So they focus on the surface, like low taxes on the rich, and miss the deeper cause, a broken money system. So to conclude, when people say tax the rich, it's not always because they understand how the system works. It's usually because they're angry, confused, and looking for someone to blame. But what if the real problem isn't just low taxes? It's how the entire system was built. When governments print endless amount of money, it lowers interest rates, which enables the rich to buy up assets, such as houses. So if you want to stop the rich from hoarding all these houses and assets, you have to stop fighting over crumbs, like taxing the rich, and start fighting against the fiat system that enables it. Start learning about better tools like Bitcoin that don't rely on broken rules in the first place. If you learned something of value, I'd appreciate you leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.